dealt with in a different aspect of MDE. So we're really once we get the Soil Conservation District approval, we're going to have to work through MDE. That could take a few more months. But at this point, we're anticipating really having all of our permits in hand by the fall and be able to work up the specs and to be able to have that out to bid early spring of 2020 with the idea of hopefully starting construction in the same year.
Hey, Mark, can I interrupt you there for one
Sure.
second? You said out to bid. We don't have to go back out to bid. We have the contractor who
So
is still on board and
and
ready
they're
to go
still
with the
holding
price that we've
Okay,
been
well,
quoted.
that's a good sign. There was concern. Originally, a contractor was on board, accepted a price to do this work, and they're going to hold that price.
He has
So
still
that's
honored that price, and we have paperwork and documentation stating such.
perfect. And that'll be a significant cost difference versus going out and bidding it now. So ultimately, what we're looking at is the permits, going through the permit process. Unfortunately, I can't submit to the MDE until I get the Soil Conservation District. And once it goes to them, there could potentially be some slight adjustments to the plan. I would not expect anything significant, but there are now some title issues that we have to worry about that we didn't have to worry about when it was designed back in 08, 09, and 2010.
This is a question for Ryan. Who was the holdup on the last one? Which group on the permitting? Because I mean, we were held up for years
Critical area.
for the boardwalk.
Critical area.
Critical area. Are they going to fast track, or are we going to go through the same clowns?
Critical area doesn't have a thing called fast track.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest with you. I hate to be such blunt
I
with you, but
understand.
they don't have it. But they know that this project needs to happen. They've been directed by someone above them.
Okay.
So I believe once it gets to them, that permit will not be held up as it was in the past.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How much parking is going to be provided down on Riverwalk?
I'd have to check off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I wasn't involved in the original design, but I do have the sketches back here that have the parking locations on them.
Mr. Harmon,
Yes, sir.
I have a few questions that you may not be the,
Sure.
Ryan may have to answer some of these. So first, I want to thank the council members before that helped to move this along. Thank you for your efforts. The roughly $3 million that we received, is that going to be held for us to use, or are they?
Yes, we haven't officially received it. Yes, they're holding the 3.3 million.
All right, great. Do we have any estimates on the operations and maintenance of this boardwalk? And then lastly, has the sheriff's been engaged on security implications, like how are they going to patrol it and things of that nature?
First, we'll address the maintenance. I do believe it's going to be a composite material, so it won't be like it's just some treated wood in the woods. So no, I do not have the figure as it relates to the maintenance of said structure. As it relates to the policing, I mean, I think we'll do just like we do with everything else in all our other parks in town. Our community police officer, along with the Charles County Sheriff Department and our extra duty town patrols that we're currently paying for, will help with the policing of the boardwalk.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think with the maintenance, just to add on that, you're probably looking at, we're looking at trash cans, things of that nature, keeping the parking lots clean. So it'd be very similar to what you would pay for a standard park.
My main concern is that since it's overlooking, over a body of water, what are the maintenance to the structure so it doesn't fall or there are loose boards? How we plan to do those types of things?
Those would be minimal. As Ryan said, that because of the material, when it's installed, it would be installed for long term. So I mean, with the pylons and things of that nature, I would expect 50 years to go by before anything would be even looked at. Any type of the board material, if there was a problem, I think it would be minimal. So that would be a small maintenance. It would more than likely be handled by Public Works.
Okay, that's great news. Thank you very much.
I think probably the only other thing I could mention is with respect to the funding, the folks that are involved with that through the state, I provide an update with once a month. So we've been in contact with them, let them know where we're at with the permitting, hoping they can help us nudge the permit along as well. But they're aware, once a month, I provide them with an update. So if there's any other kind of issue or questions, we'll address those on a monthly basis. Yes, sir.
Has there been any change since the original design in terms of the length of the boardwalk?
No. No, the concept is going to be exactly the same. From the design question, there is a bunch of vegetation that was originally planned that more or less runs. The idea was supposed to be everywhere where these structures were going in, it was going to impact the environment. Therefore, there would be additional plantings that would be added in that would help, maybe not replicate, but would help environmentally the area to assimilate. There has been some changes with wetlands and a lot of shore plantings over the last few years. So I would maybe expect some of the vegetation to be swapped out and some of it to be changed. But until we get the review from MDE, I couldn't even speculate what that would be. And so they have updated some of the title charts. So from my experience, I think it may, if the water's higher and faster moving, they may require plantings that may go a little deeper than what was there before, but cost-wise, it shouldn't be a significant upgrade. It's probably just more of a planting detail than anything.
Thank you, Mark. Some of us have been waiting for 15+ years now
But who's counting?
and going and still waiting. Thank you.
Mr. Hicks, I have an additional question. Do you think you would need an additional public works staff member or a couple staff members to help with this effort?
I could always use some additional staffing. Wrong person to ask. I mean, of course, it would be just like I said, if we treat it like another park, that means we gotta pick up trash on Mondays and Fridays. So yes, I could always use additional staffing. Council, I could always use additional staffing.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Yes, sir.
Is there any other closer access points? It looks like on this diagram, your parking is designated parking area, then you're taking this long trail through the woods and then down the slopes to get to the dock or whatever, the structure. Is there any other access points available?
Not right
If
now.
somebody's up in age, they're gonna go to a lot just to get to the pier.
Is it ADA?
Yes, it's all ADA accessible.
It is.
Yeah. Anybody have any other questions?
So does the lack of or limited accessibility pose a problem if you had to respond with the ambulance, or how would?
Well, we'd have to roll the stretcher all the way down that trail to get to the individual if he's on the dock or whatever, but something like that.
All right.
I still think that would be easier, Wayne, than if you had to roll it down the one on Mattingly Avenue. You had to roll it down there on that CR6 trail.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd be able to do that.
That's a challenge too.
Yes.
So for that CR6 trail, is there something we need to look at doing to make it more accessible for them?
I believe due to location, you can't pave it. I mean, it's right along Mattawood Creek, you can't pave it. So I think what you got is the best we're gonna get. Wayne, they might have to come in on their ATV or something. I know they got a couple over at the fire department. We could use one of those as well, along with some additional staff.
It's like Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Is there any type of debris collection that's going to prevent the logs and the trees and all the stuff coming down the Potomac and left under that and anything?
No, ultimately, MDE is going to decide if there's any other obstructions put there, but based on what they typically approve, I would say no. They would look at it more or less as any material coming down the Potomac is going to be an act of God, and whatever occurs, we have to address it then, as opposed to putting some type of a stoppage or something up.
That's going to be a mess.
Which could potentially affect your building. Depending on what comes down. The structure, I mean, if you have like, for instance, like a tracked material or all-weather material, and if you have something large and heavy comes down the river and it impacts it, there's no way to know, so that the statement by by Ryan, that additional staff would be helpful, is underscored by the fact that maybe somebody did periodically go out and look at it and make sure that it is retaining its structural integrity.
Well, it will be designed in accordance with the standards, you know, the total engineering standards. If we have a catastrophic event, you know, a major storm come through, I think we have to handle those on a case-by-case basis. I'm not sure that we could really plan for that, something of that nature.
I have one last question. Is your name actually Mark Harmon, like the actor? Mark?
Yes.
Okay. awesome.
Spelled different, though.
Okay,
I'm
great.
M-A-N.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, the other guy does make a lot more money.
Can we call you Jethro?
Sure.
Thank you so much for the presentation.
But we'll continue to push. I mean, at this point, it's, I think, frustrating from our end as well is the fact that we've got to run through all these permits again, and because of some of the environmental changes in the permitting, it's really like we're doing this for the first time.
With having to go through the permitting, do you have to go through public hearings again? Are there any public hearings that have to take place because of that?
No.
Good.
No, I would assume those were probably had to do with the funding, and with that being solidified, that's all done. Now, at this point, it's just jumping through the environmental regulations and having MDE agree with what's been done and having the interworkings of MDE agree with each other. All right.
Mr. Council, what's the probability of just scrapping this whole thing?
Giving back $3.3 million? Is that what you? I don't think there's much probability. You have a lot of residents who have moved here just for that purpose.
Pardon? What?
We had a lot of residents who moved to their community just for that purpose. We were able, through a lot of time and effort, to acquire the funding. It sounds like maintenance is going to be low because, you know, we're constrained on our O&M budget. So do you have a reason why we would want to scrap it?
It's been going on for 12 years now, nothing's happened. It's going to be another 2 years before something happens.
I'd say that probability would be pretty low. Just, I mean, sorry, I'd say. Sorry, mine wasn't working as well. I'd say the probability of scrapping the project would be extremely low. You know, we've got the state to commit to 80% of the bill, which is a major, you know, undertaking for them as well, and $3.3 million. So, you know, we've gone through the process, and we're reapplying for, you know, permits and going. I think the probability of that would be very low.
Someone asked about parking, and you said you didn't know. Do you know if it's 10 cars, 25 cars, 50 cars?
I'd have to go back and count. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I'm sorry.
You don't even have an estimate.
Well, I could go back here and count it.
Why not?
We can let.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
I'll go get it.
Closer to 10 than it is to 50.
That information, but I think it's about a dozen.
What are the hours? Have you determined the hours?
I think we would treat it like a park.
Treat it like a park.
Yes, sir.
So you park your car, and then you walk through the neighborhood, and you go down to the dock.
You park your car and you'd be right there at the trail that will take you to the dock. The parking is closer to the trail, so you don't have to actually walk through the neighborhood.
So the parking's further up.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You can't get much more than 10 cars.
Any other questions for Mark? Thank you. Moving on, we have no presentations or recognitions tonight. We do have a resolution. Annie?
Resolution 03-01-19, introduced by Mayor and Council, date introduced March 4th, 2019, date adopted is tentatively March 4th, 2019, and date effective would be March 4th, 2019. It is a resolution appointing the members of Board of Supervisors of Elections in and for the Town of Indian Head, whereas Section C3-3, Board of Supervisors of Elections of Article 3, Elections of the Municipal Charter of the Town of Indian Head, requires that there shall be a Board of Supervisors of Elections consisting of 3 members who shall be appointed by the Town Council on or before the first Monday in March every 4 years, and whereas those members of the Board of Supervisors of Elections are to hold office from the second Monday of March of the year appointed, and the terms shall run for 4 years, and whereas Section C3, Board of Supervisors of Elections of Article 3, Elections, provides the appointment of 2 substitute members to the Board of Supervisors of Elections, the terms of office of the substitute members will be the same as the members of the Board of Supervisors of Elections. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Council of Indian Head, Maryland, that the following individuals are hereby appointed to the Board of Supervisors of Elections: Mary Hashhagen, 5 Indian Head Avenue, member; Michelle Mabry, 1201 East Raymond Avenue, member; Rose Chase, 108 Woodland Drive, member; Mark Hashhagen, 5 Indian Head Avenue, substitute; Dewan Avery, 8 Lookout Drive, substitute. Appointees shall take office on the second Monday of March 2019, and the term shall expire on the second Monday of March 2023. Be it further resolved that all resolutions or parts of resolutions in conflict herewith being the same are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. This resolution shall be in full force and effect on the 4th day of March 2019.
Mr. Mayor, I move we accept the resolution as read.
Mr. Mayor, I second it.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution passes.
I'd like to thank those residents for volunteering for such a valuable and important service.
Agreed. All right, moving on. Ordinances, we have none. Petitions, we have none. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have none. On to miscellaneous. Announcement of upcoming meetings. All right. Remember, daylight savings time, Sunday. You don't want to show up late to church. Community Activities Committee and Spring Party Prep is Tuesday, March 12th, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Parks and Recreation Committee will meet Wednesday, March 20th, 7 p.m. at the Senior Center Back Room. Environmental Sustainability Committee will meet Wednesday, March 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Senior Center Back Room. Planning Commission will meet Wednesday, March 20th, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Senior Services Bingo Day, open to the public, Thursday, March 21st, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., Village Green Pavilion. Town Council Work Session will be Wednesday, March 27th, 3:30 p.m. at Town Hall. Youth-led I Am Listening Suicide Awareness Color Run and Walk will be Saturday, March 30th, 10 a.m. at the Village Green Pavilion and Park. Next town meeting will be Monday, April 1st, 7:30 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. And Farmers and Crafts Market will start Thursdays, April 4th to October 3rd, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Or on the Village Green, not at the Village Green Pavilion. My apologies. All right, now moving on to citizens' comments. If anyone has a comment, please go to the podium, name, address, and go for it.
Good evening, everybody. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Cynthia Albright. My husband is Randy Albright. I just wanted to say good evening to everybody and to let you know of an event that I've been working viciously with Karen, poor lady. I'm setting up a walk, run, and roll event here on the Village Green. I've teamed up with the Transverse Myelitis Association, and we're raising funds for research and awareness for rare neuroimmune disorders, which is, I have been diagnosed with one. It's called myelin oligodendrocyte glycoprotein, but for you guys, it's MOG. So that's just one of the immune disorders. The event will include a 50-50 raffle, a bake sale, face painting, moon bounce, a DJ, silent auction, which will, well, I guess it'll be a surprise what the item will be auctioned off. just to get you guys here. I have some fundraisers that are also being set up at some local restaurants, the Green Turtle in La Plata, Chipotle in La Plata. I have, I'm working with Blue Dyer, who is gifting some certificates for some free tastings and tours. And what else did I have? Texas Ribs and Barbecue has also donated gift cards. So the event will be held May 11th from 11 till 2 p.m. So anybody that's interested, if they'd like to volunteer, make a donation or whatever, I have some flyers. I need to cut some up. I didn't have a paper cutter, so I have to divide those up, get those out to you guys, post them around town. If anybody wants to pass them out, post them in their business, just let me know, let Karen know. Karen can get in touch with me. So just want to let you know, a lot going on, a little bit of time, so that's it.
Ms. Albright, thank you for bringing that and sharing that with us. What is a minimum donation that you're looking for?
There is absolutely no minimum. If you want to donate $2, you can donate $2. I mean,
I'd like to make a
have
donation.
sponsorship packets. So if anybody, well, they'll be arriving this week, the good ones. I have photocopies that I printed out from a PDF file, but the real ones will be coming in the mail shortly. So if anybody would like to have one of those, if they know any companies that would like to make a monetary sponsorship, they're more than welcome to do that. If they do that, I'll just need a JPEG photo that's at least 500 megabytes, and then their logo will be on the back of the T-shirts at the Walk, Run, and Roll event. There is absolutely zero registration fee for this event, by the way. It's strictly donations. So I would advise, though, that if you're coming, we will not have access to an ATM machine here on site. We will have a lot of raffles going on here at the event. So it's probably best that you bring some cash. If you're bringing somebody else along, have them stop by the ATM of a PNC and tell them to bring some cash. But we will have some credit card machines for other things. Okay.
Do you know if you'll have security at this event with all this cash in the place?
I don't believe so.
Okay, maybe we should see if we can get, the sheriff has
We're not
patrols.
going to have a lot of cash on us. It's just going to be the.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Okay, awesome. All right. I'm always worried. I'm sorry.
And I wanted to say thank you to Curtis. Curtis was the one that actually brought this to my attention, thought it would be a good idea for me to do this. So, and then I just kind of went on down the chain there.
It takes some courage to do what you're doing.
Oh my gosh,
I thank
am
you.
like, you guys